Welcome back to the Upper Echelon Podcast where we keep it real and we keep it jiggy over here. Cause why? Because we ain't never ever scared. Please hit that like button on your way in. Also, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you can be notified of any time that I live stream in the future or anytime that I post content. We're going to get into a couple of things, y'all. A couple of things. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, if you would like to donate to my channel, my Cash App is pinned at the bottom of the screen. It's $UPP1987, y'all. Let's get into a couple of topics. Now, one of the things, I wasn't planning on going live tonight, y'all, but I wanted to share a couple of things with you guys. So just due to all of the events that have gone on over the weekend, all of the things that have gone on today. If you guys are not subscribed to Chat and Chew, please go subscribe to Chat and Chew because they had an awesome, just in case y'all don't know, Chat and Chew consists of Miss White and one of my moderators, I'm Chosen. So they had a really, really great topic today. And they spoke a lot of wisdom and I enjoyed it. I really, really did. One thing that I will say about Chat and Chew, Miss White, and I'm Chosen is that they're able to go live and share a positive message and still have some entertainment and humor in there as well. So if you're not subscribed to Chat and Chew, go ahead and do so because you will not be disappointed. Let's see who all up in. Oh, speaking of Chat and Chew, hey, I'm Chosen. We got Joy in Sneakers, Josephine Edmonds, Deborah R., Michelle Spikes, Nina Edwards, Nikki Ray, Gigi Edwards, Robin Lott, Stormy Black, Angel Jones, Snooki, Nina Edwards. Oh, I said, hey, Nina Edwards. Cassandra, Rewa, Robin Lotz, Kiana with a Q, Tavi Baby, Honey, Nola, Stephanie Landry, Mr. Troy, Steph's Puff and Stuff. Y'all, let's get into the topic, y'all. The reason why I really wanted to bring up Chat and Chew is because they went over a lot of important things tonight, especially when it comes to dealing with conflict and really understanding like what it is or what it means when somebody just don't like you, don't even know why they don't like you, okay? And how to deal with stuff like that. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this particular person. He's an internet sensation. He's not just on YouTube, but he's on really all platforms. I believe he has a page on Facebook. He has a channel on YouTube. He also has a TikTok platform. And I believe like he's on Instagram and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right or what, but his name is spelled Sadhguru. And I call him Sadhguru. Now, I don't know if I'm saying it right or not, but he is, I believe he's an Indian guru. He's also a professor. And if you guys go to, I'm going to pull it up for y'all. Let's see. And I want to share this message with you guys. Now, this is somebody that I watch daily. Okay. So, he shares a lot of really good advice, a lot of different ways to channel your energy, a lot of different ways to channel your anger. He shares health tips, all types of stuff. Okay, so I wanted to share this message because in this video here, before we get into the other topic, because we are talking about Diddy tonight as well. Before we get into that, I want to share this message because in this particular video, he speaks on how to channel your anger, why we get angry, and what to do when we get angry. And he also speaks on the term get angry, okay? Get in quotations, okay? So let's play some of this because I think that he has a very powerful message here. He does have kind of sort of a thick accent, so just listen carefully. I think that this is a really good message for any time where you feel like you're in a situation where somebody is trying to purposely warrant a response out of you. Before I get done running my mouth, let me also say this as well. Sometimes when you have the upper hand, and when I say upper hand, I don't mean it like as far as like a game, but I mean it like as when you have the upper hand as far as reputation. It could be reputation. It could be respect from others. It could be admiration, um, so on and so forth. When you have not reduced yourself to certain levels, understand that when people are trying to pull you down to their level and you refuse to go down there in the mud with them, it angers them even further because they understand that they've already humiliated themselves and they're trying to get you to do the exact same thing by responding. So understand that before you respond, understand what the play is. Sometimes people are already all the way down in the mud and they want you to get down there with them. So I encourage everybody, uh, content creators and and supporters alike. When you see that somebody is trying to provoke you, just look at it like what it is that they're humiliated. What it is that they don't feel good about themselves. What it is that they don't like how you carry yourself because they can't get up there with you. So when I say that I'm never going to leave my level ever again, I mean that. And when I say I'm never going to leave my level, I'm never going to leave the level that I'm on unless I'm going up. I'm never going to go down to meet you. You're going to have to come up to meet me. So we got to keep that in mind as well. What's going on, Miss Fee? That's my girl right there. Who else just came in? Hey, Nina Edwards. Did I miss anybody? Blueberry Boots, what's going on, girl? Hey, Lonnie McGee. Okay, so let's play this real quick. I want y'all to listen to this.
What are we supposed to do when we are angry? And how to deal with deep rooted anger?
It depends who is the victim. You please. Suppose you're angry with your mother, you behave one way. You're angry with your friend another way. You're angry with your professor, completely different way. Yes or no? So who is your victim right now? Accordingly, you should do. But now, you are asking this question as if anger is a natural part of you. Are you angry right now? What's your name? Rohini. Are you angry right now? No. Then why are you bothered about anger? Once in a way you get angry. Yes? You get angry. Anger doesn't happen to you. You get angry. You like it? You don't like it. Then why do you do it? See, around us, so many people will do so many things that we don't like. Yes or no? So many things in Mumbai happening, things that we don't like are every day happening. But at least within you,
Let me stop it right there to give a little bit of commentary because I have to do that, guys. When I play someone else's content, I do have to pause it and give commentary. One thing that I do want you guys to pay attention to is something that's very important. When we don't like something regarding our feelings, we typically try to do whatever we can to avoid it, right? We don't try to do what we can do to feel that way. We don't like physical pain, so we're not going to do something to hurt ourselves. We don't like sadness, so we're not going to do something or put ourselves in a situation to make ourselves sad. We don't like jealousy. That's not a good feeling, so we're not going to try to put ourselves in a situation where we may feel that. So nobody likes to feel angry. So if you don't like to feel angry, then why are you allowing yourself to have that feeling? Now, Sadhguru, if that's how you say his name, because y'all, I don't really know, is going to really explain how you have control over how you feel. You have control over your emotions. And if there's an emotion that you don't like, and it's an emotion that makes you feel bad physically and mentally, because anger doesn't just make us feel bad mentally, it also has an effect on our physical as well. And if we're not liking how we feel, because if you notice when you get angry or when you feel a bad feeling emotionally, you feel it physically as well. You feel it in your stomach. Sometimes people can't even eat because they're so angry. Sometimes anger can turn into depression. So if you don't like those feelings, why are you allowing yourself to get there? Why are you allowing someone else to take you there? Okay, and he's going to get into how we can control how we feel. instead of allowing other people to control how we feel.
Only what you want should happen within this, isn't it? Huh? I cannot decide that only what I want should happen with you, but I can definitely decide only what I want must happen within me, isn't it? If you could decide only what you want should happen within you, would you choose anger or joy? What's your choice? Please choose, I'm going to bless you. See, you want the highest level of pleasantness for yourself, isn't it? Then why is such a thing not happening? As I said earlier, you never read the user's manual. How this functions has not been looked at. Do not go by the example of people who came here a few years earlier than you. That, no, my mother also was like that, my grandmother also was getting angry, so I am also getting angry. They should not be the leading lights of your life. I want you to look at it. Your thought, your emotion, your body must happen the way you want, isn't it? Huh? If somebody else can decide what should happen within you, this is ultimate slavery, isn't it so? What happens around you, maybe we can decide, but nobody should decide except yourself what happens within you. If you decide, you would keep this in the high state of pleasantness for sure. You wouldn't be battling with anger.
I want to play that one more time because I thought that that was a profound statement. Nobody should be deciding what's happening within you except for you. So nobody should be making that decision on how you feel on the inside except for you. If you woke up this morning feeling good, you can't allow what people are saying on the outside to make you feel any different, you know. And I know that it's easier said than done because I fall short often, but you know, it's good to, you know, this is one of the reasons why I like YouTube, because there's so many different platforms and so many different videos and avenues, and it's so awesome that we live in a world of technology where all we got to do is type some stuff in and we can find some good words of advice and encouragement like this, because this is so true. Even tonight, right? Somebody sent me a screen recording of something that was said about me. Then I thought about it and I'm like, you know, well, I'm actually in a good mood. You know, I had a pretty good day at work, you know. I went and had a pretty good lunch for lunch today. You know, YouTube paid me today, so got a little extra cash in my pocket, you know. My time management was good today. Helped the kids with the homework, got everything laid out. I'm having a pretty good day. So why should I allow somebody else's words to then change how I feel? I feel good. So somebody else's words cannot have that type of control over me to where it'll make me stoop down to their level and start saying things that I know that I shouldn't say, and start making me feel ways that I know that I wasn't feeling before I heard it. And another thing, I'm gonna finish playing this, but another thing that my oldest brother told me, because I'm the youngest, I have two older brothers, but one thing that my oldest brother used to always tell me is mind over matter. I don't mind because you don't matter. And I used to always laugh when he used to say that because it was funny to me. But the older that I get, the more it really resonates with my life and just with my everyday life and how I move. And sometimes when you hear something that's so influential and profound in your life, you can't help but go back to it. So I always remember that. And sometimes I don't always follow it, but I always remember it. When somebody this doesn't know me or doesn't have the best intentions for me, the first thing that I think, even if I don't pay it any mind or attention, it's kind of like a subconscious thing that my brother used to always teach me, that mind over matter. I don't mind because you don't matter. If you don't matter, then I don't mind. Right? So we can't really notice it. Yeah, he ate with that one. Most definitely. That's how you gotta carry it. You know what I'm saying? Especially, and I'm not gonna say especially, I'm gonna say it's that's very, very useful on this platform, because at this point, you know, this is a second stream of income for me. At this point, this is a job. And anytime you entering into a new avenue in your life, for me, YouTube is a new avenue. You do have to know or have certain tools to be able to keep your sanity, to be able to maneuver around this platform and be successful and do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And one of those tools that I had to start remembering was mind over matter. I don't mind because you don't matter. If your intentions for me are not good, if you are spreading falsehoods about me, if you are saying things about me that are not true, if your intention is to destroy me, if your intention is to destroy my character, if your intention is to get me to react in a not so favorable manner, then you should not matter in my life, right? So I want everybody in my chat to remember that. And if I have any CCs, I got any content creators that's watching and y'all running your platform and you hear this about yourself and you hear that about yourself, always remember mind over matter. I don't mind because you don't matter.
You wouldn't be battling with anger. It's not just about anger, fear, stress, tension, don't address them separately. Essentially, your mind is not taking instructions from you. Why? Because you don't know where the damn keyboard is. Yet, we gave you a supercomputer, you do not know where the keyboard is. So one day you did this, something worked, another day you did this, something worked. Have you seen people? The radio doesn't work, boom, and it works sometimes. That's not a technology, that's chance. Have you seen this? If something doesn't work, people think tap, 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 it'll work. And a lot of people are using this for human beings also. Something doesn't work, tap, tap, and it'll work. In Tamil Nadu, there is a saying, "Naalu kudutha ella sariyaidu." That means, if you slap them 4 times, everything will get fixed. Doesn't get fixed like that.
All right, that's the end of the video, y'all. So I felt like that was something that I definitely really wanted to share. Somebody put a comment up here that I wanted to, I looked at it, but then I didn't look at it. So let me go up real quick. Okay, I don't see it now. Darn. Hey, Spicy Brown. Hey, Terry. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, Raquel. Sorry if I missed anybody. Hey, good morning, gorgeous. Did I miss anybody? Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Okay, I'm trying to keep my time management together. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Y'all, hide your kids, hide your wives. Diddy is out here SAing everybody. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull up this article. I'm just gonna do a real quick Diddy update because it seems like every day is something new going on with this case. Somebody new has come forward. So the case is forever changing. Let me pull this down real quick. We have now another allegation of a 13-year, well, she's not 13 any longer. However, she claims that when she was 13, during that time, she was essayed by P. Diddy, another famous artist, and she claims that there was another famous female artist that sat and watched as the assault took place. The one thing that I'm really not understanding is why these other celebrities are not being named. Also, real quick, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Again, everything is alleged. So that's one thing that I do find a little bit strange. If anybody is in the comments that could possibly give their take on why they believe that that's happening, I would love to hear it. I'm not sure why they're not naming. I don't know if the actual victims are not naming these celebrities, or if it's simply that the courts are not releasing these celebrities' names. But Diddy is the only celebrity that is being named at this point. So let's get into let's get into, however, I would love to know who these celebrities were. Let's get into the article. So I got this particular article off of CNN.com. Um, it says here that 7 new civil lawsuits have been filed against Sean Diddy Combs, including 2 from accusers who say they were minors at the time they were allegedly drugged and assaulted by the music producer. For the first time in a year-long wave of litigation against Combs, other celebrities are cited and accused of participating in an alleged assault, though they are not identified by name. I want to know who these celebrities are. I do think that eventually the celebrity names are going to come out. In a minute, I'm going to tell you who I think the celebrities are. If y'all been watching my content on P. Diddy, y'all got to know who I think it is, okay? In a lawsuit filed by one Jane Doe, she states she was 13 in the year 2000 when she was invited by a limo driver to attend an MTV Video Music Awards after party thrown by Combs in New York City. After consuming a beverage, Doe's complaint states she felt drowsy and she looked for a place to lay down. Combs, joined by an unnamed male celebrity, and an unnamed female celebrity, came into the bedroom where she was resting. Combs then stated, "Are you ready to party?" Now this is what this is what P. Diddy asked the little 13-year-old. Are you ready to party? Before I continue with this article, where was the 13-year-old's parents? Now this is the same question that I had when the whole oh shoot. Can y'all still hear? Can y'all still hear me? Y'all can? Okay, cool. This is the same question I had when the R. Kelly situation was going on. Where were these people's parents at? Why is first of all, my oldest child is 12. I would never let my 12, and my oldest child is a boy. I would never let my 12-year-old go to an MTV after party. First of all, who is inviting a 12-year-old to an adult party? That's number one. Number two, where are your parents at? Number three, this is what I was saying with R. Kelly. If R. Kelly is going to be charged, and there's some other adults that need to be charged in this case as well. This is how I feel about the P. Diddy situation. I really don't like the whole keeping the other celebrities anonymous. I feel like it's a whole lot of people that aided in getting these young kids or whatever into P. Diddy's hands because he has so much power and influence. So I'm not exactly sure why the celebrities are not being named. One of the reasons why I think that it could be is because these celebrities are not in jail. Maybe the people who are giving these accusations, I know that they haven't been named either, but maybe they're not wanting the celebrities' names to be revealed out of fear. That could be it too, you know. So let's continue. The unnamed male celebrity proceeded to S.A. Jane Doe, her lawsuit states, while Combs and the unnamed female celebrity watched. Combs then S.A. Jane Doe as the other 2 celebrities watched, according to her lawsuit. This is a 13-year-old girl we talking about, y'all. When reached for comment, representatives for Combs referred CNN to a previous statement that his attorneys, in which they denied the allegations in 6 other lawsuits filed last week. Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts, their legal defenses, and the integrity of the judicial process. Combs' attorney said to the state in a statement, "In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs has never essayed anyone, adult or minor, man or woman." The newest lawsuits, 5 of which were filed in federal court in New York and 2 in New York Superior Court on Monday, include allegations of RAPE, SA, S harassment, battery, or false imprisonment by Combs between the years 2000 and as recent as 2022 in New York, Los Angeles, or Las Vegas. All alleged incidents occurred at parties that were allegedly hosted by Combs. These plaintiffs were women. These plaintiffs are women, and four are men. Okay, submitted as either Jane Doe or John Doe. All but one alleged that they were drugged by Combs. Another accuser states in his claim that he was a 17-year-old aspiring artist in 2022 when he was allegedly drugged at a party in SA by Combs, who offered him a drink and assured him that he would make him a star. Now, I'm gonna tell you what. The reason why I'm starting to believe all of this, I'm sorry if I'm not reading y'all comments, it's because I'm on another tab reading the article. Ms. Fee said, I believe the upper. When I was 14, my 13-year-old cousin was a contestant, and it was to meet Albie Shore. Really? Wow. Let's see. Man, these kids are young, just being released to these people. You know, I think sometimes people are blinded by people's celebrity, and they think that because they're celebrities that they couldn't do wrong. The reason why I believe a lot of these people's stories is because a lot of them, their stories are so similar. Everybody is saying that they were drugged by P. Diddy. Everybody is saying that these incidents happened at a party. There's another woman, I forget her name, but she was an aspiring supermodel. She did work with MTV at one point. She came forward last year, shortly after Cassie, and she stated that P. Diddy also gave her that same promise that he would make her famous. But ultimately, he just used her for his own pleasures. And then he ended up disposing of her, basically throwing her into a cab. She said she woke up in a cab, not knowing where she was going. Okay. So a lot of these stories are starting to coincide, and they're starting to sound very similar. Okay. Also, let me just say this. I don't know if you guys have read this or have heard this, but also P. Diddy's defense team is asking that the accusers be named. So not only do we not know who is accusing P. Diddy, but P. Diddy don't know who's accusing him. Even the defense team don't know the names of these people that he is being accused by. They just know that these people are named Jane Doe, John Doe. What I also want to know is, what I also have been thinking about is, I'm wondering if, now y'all know that P. Diddy's trial is not until next year, I believe in May. So he's gonna be sitting in jail until May, okay? I don't even know if they'll be ready to go to trial in May, because they got to do discovery and all of this stuff. So we'll see if the trial actually happens in May. We'll see. But they've been demanding that these people reveal their identities. But when you think about all of the celebrity connections that P. Diddy has in the industry, who would want their name to be revealed so that they can be potentially be, targeted? I can definitely understand why these people are remaining anonymous. So I do find that to be quite interesting in the case, that not only do we not know who these accusers are, but the defense team and Diddy don't know. Well, Diddy, I'm sure if he's guilty, he knows who these people are. So, but that's quite extensive. Over 100 victims, over 100. It's a lot, but when you think about it, according to all of these accusations, his reign of terror has been going on for almost 2 decades. So it's really not that unbelievable. Okay, so where do we stop? Okay, Monday's lawsuits join others against Combs filed last week by Houston-based attorney Tony Busby and co-counsel Andrew Van Arsdale, who previously said they were representing at least 120 alleged victims of Combs, including minors. Federal prosecutors have accused Combs of orchestrating a criminal enterprise through his business empire that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, and decades of physical abuse against women, among other allegations. He has pleaded not guilty to federal charges of trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs is being held in custody in New York as he awaits trial set to begin in May. So there we have it. Let me look at some of the comments before I continue. I don't know if you guys have seen a recent interview that was done. What is the name of that daggone channel? I forget the name of the YouTube channel, but it was a woman. She came out a while ago and made some statements about what she experienced at a Diddy party, and nobody believed her. I think the name of the channel on YouTube is Soft White Underbelly. I think that's the name of the YouTube channel. I think that's the channel that it was on. So recently, she actually came back and spoke again about her experiences at a P. Diddy party. And, you know, I was so intrigued by what she was saying, because when she spoke on what she saw and what she experienced, I was more so focused on how she was feeling. And she was saying that you just get this feeling like something just isn't right. And she was just feeling like something isn't right. And she said, if that type of thing is not in you, then you're not going to feel comfortable. But if it is in you, then you will feel comfortable. And when she said that, I took from that, what she's saying is, you know, it was a lot of evil, demonic stuff going on at that party. And not only that, but she also stated that his sons were there participating in that stuff that was going on. And I just find it so disgusting and unbelievable that a father would be engaging his sons in that type of activity when they speak on what was going on at some of those Diddy parties. Ms. Fee said, is Jamie Foxx suing Diddy? I don't know. I haven't heard that. Now, I keep on hearing Jamie Foxx's name for sure. Nikki Bo, because I know that Jamie Foxx has spoken on what he's seen at Diddy parties a couple of times. Nikki Bowman says, I don't believe Diddy is a saint by far, but I do believe a lot of this stuff is made up for a bag. All you got to say is what everybody else is saying. I do believe he was a freaky. She said, I do believe he was a freaky dude and beat females. You know, I can't even argue with that. I can't disagree with you on that one. There obviously, especially when it comes to suing an entertainer, obviously you do have to keep in mind that there may be some people coming forward only basically just reiterating what they've already heard in the news or in the press just for monetary gain. Oh, you know what? I was going to say something. I got thrown off. What I was going to say is I know that P. Diddy settled outside of court because Cassie was suing him in civil court, and they ended up settling. But I've heard Cassie's name mentioned a couple of times in different, you know, press releases and stuff like that. And I'm wondering because they said it was one interview I was watching where it was stated that there's only one named victim at the moment that's going to be named in the trial. And so I can't think of any other victim that has been named yet that I could think of really other than, I mean, there's been other people that have come forward, but I'm wondering if Cassie would be involved in this case. And I really am interested in knowing that if you sue somebody civilly or if you pursue a civil suit because they ended up settling outside of court, she's been paid. My question is, if you've already pursued a civil lawsuit against somebody and you settled, would you still be able to be included in the criminal case? So that's what I want. Like, I'm wondering if Cassie, if this is going to be involved. Let me go up a little bit. Spicy Brown said his adopted daughter just came forward. I read something about that. I also heard that she made like her social media profiles private. So is she coming forward like speaking or what? I gotta look that up. I'm gonna also find this video for y'all. Hold on one second. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, it is on Soft White Underbelly. Let me see. Let's see if we can fast. My bad, y'all. I ain't gonna play all of it because just for monetization reasons, I'm not gonna play all of it. But let me pull this video up for those of you guys that didn't see it. I'm sure most of y'all saw this, but this is the lady I'm talking about. She was on, and I watched this channel a lot, Soft White Underbelly. A lot of times, like they interview like drug addicts. Man, it's a really good channel, y'all. It's a really good channel. Who in here subscribed to Soft White Underbelly on YouTube? When I tell you, like, when I go on there and I start watching those videos, like I can stay on that channel for hours. Like some of those interviews are so sad when you hear what a lot of these people that are dependent on drugs and other substances, and what they've been through in their life and how they got to where they are. It is definitely, I'm telling you, if you're not subscribed to that channel, once you subscribe to that channel and start watching those videos, it's very addictive. Good morning, Gordon said I never heard of it. Nola said I love him. He also has a book. It's pretty expensive though. Yeah, I think he's selling it on Amazon, where he has a book full of all of the stories, all of the people he's ever really interviewed. But let's get into what this lady says that she experienced while she was at a Diddy party. And one thing that she did say that I found to be quite interesting is when she stated that this is not her first time dealing with a celebrity. So she's dealt with celebrities before. And they all have like a particular way that they recruit you. She said one thing I found interesting is she said that when a celebrity is coming after you or is interested in you, they never come themselves. They always send somebody. But let me just play just a little bit of what she said.
Our first interview. You were just some girl that I met through.
And he really was a prince for real. But I was then 2 weeks. And it was almost a month. It was basically a month by then. And he was like, no, because I just want you to meet one special person. So he ended up telling me, like, when we went to Club Live, he was.
I'm going to fast forward it a little bit, y'all.
Shoes. And some terry cloth like you. And I'm like, drink. But I didn't take a drink yet. But I just had it in my hand. So one of the sons seen me walking, mind you, I'm with other girls, but we split up. So I was walking with one girl. She's a Puerto Rican girl. So P. Diddy's son was like, you. And I'm like, me or her? And then he was like, no, you. Come here. So I went to him and he gave me some shoes. So these shoes was like some terry cloth, like robe shoes, white shoes. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with these? He was like, go in the house with these. He was like, everybody who gets these shoes, you get to go in the house. But I'm thinking you could just go in the house if you want to, but everybody can't go in the house. They're literally selectively picking who they want. So I'm like, well, what about my...
Y'all heard what she said, right? So P. Diddy's son actually chose her. So they're having a big party, one of the freak offs, and Hollywood Herb said, I've been watching him for a couple years. Definitely dope channel. Yeah, most definitely. They having a freak off party, and P. Diddy's sons are there. I don't think she named which sons, but she said sons as in more than one. And she said that the son chose her. Only a few select people could go inside of P. Diddy's house. The party was outside, but only a few select people could go into the house. Another thing I found interesting was that they gave her some terry cloth shoes to put on to go into the house. So that shows me that they have a system here. So only the people who have those white terry cloth shoes are allowed in the house. So this is something that they have been doing. They got a whole system. They got rules and everything. So let me play a little bit more.
My friend, he was like, no, only you. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm holding the shoes. I'm walking around. You know, I'm a good loyal friend. I'm not going to go inside a house where I'm not going to say what he was doing, but something really, I get real and I seen him with the Prince. I'm not gonna say what he was doing, but something really, I get real nervous. Something real crazy because I don't like to really expose people. I could talk about me, but when it's about like me, my family, because it's us. But when it's other people, bro, doing something real sexual, that's all I'm gonna say.
Now she's talking about P. Diddy. She said that she walked into a room and she saw a Prince because this is the type of connect. When I tell y'all what type of connections that P. Diddy has, I'm telling y'all, this guy is friends with an Arabian prince. Like, this is the type of company, this is the type of money and power that P. Diddy had. And she says that she witnessed him doing something sexual with the Arabian prince. So at this point, you know, we got boys and girls and boys coming forward. Okay, that's why I said had your wives, had your kids, and had your husbands, because P. Diddy is saying everybody out here. Okay, so P. Diddy, obviously, from, you know, allegedly, from the accusations that are being made, he go both ways.
So that we could see and so that we can get turned on. Okay, so he's doing something with himself, and I'm like, girl, do you see him? She's like, yes, but mind you, we're screaming like, girl, do you see him? Oh my God, because of the music. And I'm just like, whatever. Then he starts to act like really obnoxious, like, I'm the king of the world, jumping around, doing all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's regular P. Diddy shit. But what got me was how he walked up to me and was like, why are you not in the house? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, how are you enjoying my house? So we had a little talk or whatever. He started talking about all these things. Oh yeah, you're the one that, you know, I seen was telling me about the Prince. He's like, oh yeah, it's very nice to meet you. Like, your life is not going to be the same. Da 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 da.
Now, once again, here goes. See, this one I understand. I just read a comment. Let me read it real quick. Nikki said, listen and looked into her BS. We would have believed Robert did all those things her lying ass said he did. Women are not always victims because they can cry and tell a good story. I agree with that too. But it's something about her that I find to be very genuine. And I just think it's kind of a coincidence that everybody is kind of telling the exact same story. And it's not like everybody is telling parts of the obvious parts of the story that are the same. Is one particular detail that I'm noticing that a lot of the victims are saying. And one of those one of those details is that he tells people that he's going to make them a star. We just read that about the 17-year-old boy that is alleging that he was assaulted by P. Diddy. The model that says she was thrown in a cab and woke up in the middle of nowhere also stated that P. Diddy said that he was gonna make her famous. Now this young lady right here, I'm not gonna finish playing it or whatever because I don't want to play too much of nobody else's content. But this young lady here also states that P. Diddy assured her that he was gonna make her famous and her life was gonna change forever. One of the things that the Prince of Arabia, not of Arabia, but a prince from an Arab prince or some stuff. One of the things that he asked of her, because she's a musician, he wanted her to write down the lyrics to all of the songs that she ever made. So all of her songs, he wanted her to write the lyrics down so that he can pass it on to P. Diddy. And that was a promise to her that, you know, her music would make it. She would make it as a star. She would be a singer, so on and so forth. She was very smart in not doing that because she said, why would I write my lyrics down to my work? A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't value their own talents, and a lot of people don't value their ideas, and they don't value what they bring to the table. You don't realize how valuable your own work is. Just because you're not famous and rich does not mean that you aren't brilliant, right? So I don't know what type of music that this girl had that P. Diddy was interested in, but he obviously was interested in her music. And the Prince of Arabia wanted her to write her music down so he could pass it off to P. Diddy or whatever. And she said no. Essentially, she said no. Like, why? So that, you know, I can write my lyrics down. You take them and make a song out of it, make a bunch of money off of it, and I could never prove that it's my work. So I think that was pretty smart that she didn't do that. But yeah, y'all. Yep. If you want to see the full interview, go ahead and go to Soft White's Underbelly on YouTube. The name of the interview is called My Night at P. Diddy's Freak Off, and her name is Tania. Somebody in the chat said they looked into her. I really didn't look into her, so I don't really know, the validity, the girl's background and all of this, or whatever. But I do know that she was interviewed another time before, and a lot of the claims that she was making about the P. Diddy party, nobody was really believing what she was saying. But now that all of this has happened, it seems like a lot of the claims that she made were pretty valid. So, hey, who knows? Everything is alleged. But okay. So we're gonna I'm gonna keep on updating y'all with the with the P. Diddy stuff, okay? But we're gonna move on to the next topic because I'm about to get off of here pretty soon. Let me read this. Nora Talk said, did you hear the part where she stated who attended those parties allegedly little people made up? Yeah, hold on, Nora Talks. That was another part there was a lot of weird stuff that she said she saw. That's why I said go watch the actual interview. She did say, what is the politically correct term for like small people, a small person, a little person? So, little people were there dressed up suggestively. I don't know. I guess there's a community out there that is sexually attracted to little people. So there was like little people at the party dressed seductively or whatever. You got to be rich as hell to hire a group of little people to walk around in lingerie to cater to the folks that got the little people fetish. I mean, that's money right there. I'm not even trying to be funny. That is money. Damn, like where do you even find a group of little people and convince them to dress up in lingerie? I mean, that's money. Think about it. I'm not even trying to be funny. Good morning, Fortune. If you really think about it, like how rich that's some I'm so rich I don't know what to do with my money type shit. What's going on, D-Ham? That's what it is. That's some I'm so rich I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. That's why I say some people should, some people just shouldn't have that much money. Because I think that sometimes you start getting so much money that you just literally don't know what to do with it. Like, I've never had so much money to where I was like, yeah, let me spend a quick 5,000 on some little people. Like, who even thinks of that? That's the type of stuff you think of when you've literally done everything. Like, you ain't got nothing else to do. Let me hire some little people. I don't know. That's a freaky dude. That is a freaky dude. I think it's a lot of weird stuff, more weird stuff that's gonna be coming out. How many people have been paying? Look at this comment. This comment just took me out. The diddler keeps riddling. Yep. Everybody, why every time a freaky dude get caught, they got a weird nickname. So P Diddy is the diddler. R. Kelly was the Pied Piper. Well, he named himself that. Okay, so how many people, show of hands, how many people have seen, I mentioned this in my last live, how many people have seen the Netflix series Monsters? I'm telling y'all, if y'all have not seen Monsters, please go watch it. It is the series based off of real life events of Eric and Lyle Menendez. This case happened in 1989 where two filthy rich kids unalived their parents. And during that time, there was a hung jury. They had to have another trial and they were found guilty and given life sentences. I think the reason why I say watch this, obviously in 1989, I was a baby. But even though I was a little kid, I was a baby in 1989, this case is so famous that I still remember watching stuff about it though. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, even as the years have gone on, because as you guys know, I am a criminal justice major, so I am very interested in crime. Don't think that I'm weird, y'all, but you can't name a serial unaliver that I don't know everything about. That's how into crime that I am. So I am very well versed on the Menendez brothers case. Okay. So, and let me tell you, just from what I've watched over the years, as far as documentaries and interviews, I've watched the court footage. I really thought that they did it for insurance money. It was wildly publicized that these boys were spending so much money on clothes, jewelry, real estate, just parties, Rolex watches, limousines, cars, all type of stuff. Okay, after they unalived their parents, and just due to that fact, I think that a lot of people just flat out just thought that they unalived them for insurance money. But when you actually watch the series, it gets a little deeper, and it really shows what these boys went through. Now, one of the things that the defense team argued was that Eric and Lau Menendez were SA'd over the years by their father. It was also stated that the mother knew about this. New evidence has come out. It's been shown that evidence was retracted, or is it redacted or redacted, showing that when I say evidence, it was Eric's medical records were redacted, and they weren't completely honest about certain things. According to what I read, allegedly Eric did, when he was a child, have oral injuries to his mouth that could have been contributed to the essay that he said that his father did. Also, family members and friends are coming forward, or did come forward during that time, during the trial, and say that they did see inappropriate behaviors. They did see the father showering with the boys. That was strange. That Eric and Lyle did confide in several family members and friends that these things were happening. Even a family member confronted Eric and Lyle's mother and said, "Hey, Eric told me this. He said that this is happening with their dad," and she dismissed it. So the way that the trial went, and the way that they presented it to the media back in the 80s and early 90s, they presented it as if this is just something that they're saying happened because they needed an excuse as to why they unalived their parents for insurance money. Eric and Lyle, so the Netflix series really goes into detail about what happened in that home. And when you watch it, it's hard. It's like a weird feeling, having sympathy for people that unalive their parents. But when you see what they allegedly went through, I mean, it's almost like, well, damn, they were probably in fear of their own lives. Now, Eric Menendez has come forward, and he did make a statement. It was one particular part in the series that he didn't appreciate, and that part was where in the series they did kind of allude to Eric and Lyle having some sort of relationship with each other. Now, both of the brothers did admit that Lyle Menendez, who is the oldest Menendez brother, did SA his little brother. But he did that because it was being done to him. Okay? Not saying that that's an excuse, but if you know anything about child psychology, sexual deviant behaviors, then you understand that most offenders of those types of assault, I have to be careful what I say. Offenders, or people or young children, I'll say young children, that display signs of sexual deviant behaviors, typically are victims of sexual assault themselves. So the oldest brother, Lyle, was being assaulted by his father. So he reenacted those same things onto his brother. Eric was smart enough at that time to understand that he couldn't be mad with his older brother, and he never held it against him, even though he violated him, because he understood, even at that young age, that it was being done to him, and he just didn't know any better. Let me show y'all. And I feel like, okay, so as time goes on, as the years go on, not only does technology advance, but so does psychology, so does medicine. So studies of the body, which is medicine, medical, that advances. But so does psychology, studies of the mind, and diagnoses and things like that also advance as times go on. And I think that back in the 80s, late 80s and early 90s, incestuous relationships, molestation, sexual assault was not something that I'm not saying that people weren't privy to it, but I don't think that it was something that people were very educated about. And when I say that, I mean that there's a lot of things that people back in those days thought was a mental illness that they don't think is a mental illness anymore. For instance, and this is just an example of what I mean when I say that psychology does advance as time goes on. Back in the 80s, there's something called a DSM, and inside of the DSM is every single mental disorder, mental diagnoses, for example, schizophrenia, bipolar, ADD, ADHD, anything that you can think of will be inside of the DSM, and it comes with a little code, almost like if you look in a law book and you see law codes, it's the same thing in the DSM. Back in those days, homosexuality was considered a mental illness, and it was actually listed in the DSM. But as time has gone on, because there has been an advancement in psychology, in mental illness studies, we now know, or whatever you believe, that is no longer considered a mental illness. Okay, so I do think that because there were certain psychologists that spoke on the stand, therapists that spoke on behalf of what they believe those boys experienced, and I really think that they kind of do deserve a retrial. Let's see. Raquel said codes. When I speak about codes, I'm talking about the diagnoses that are listed in the DSM. So they're numbered. So that would be the codes. So let's see. Y'all, so I want to show y'all the actual video. Now tell me, now inside of the series, they think that Lau is putting on. I personally think that, let me see if I can expand it. Hold on. People are sweeping it under the rug. Didn't they just appeal? They did. I'm getting ready to read the article. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get ready to read the article, but I want y'all to look at this really quick. Now, in the series, they tried to say that Lau was actually acting and he was putting on in this particular I can't pull it up, hold on. In this particular cross-examination. Tell me what y'all think. I don't think he was putting on. I think it was real. If he was putting on, he should be an actor. Okay, so this is him where he's speaking on what he experienced.
I just told him that I didn't want to do this and that it hurt me. And he said that he didn't mean to hurt me. And he loved me.
Was that important to you, that he loved you?
Yes, very. But I still didn't want to do it.
Did you tell your mom?
Yes.
What did you say to your mom?
I told her to tell Dad to leave me alone. And he keeps touching me.
What did your mom say?
She told me to stop it. and that I was exaggerating, and that my dad has to punish me when I do things wrong. And she told me that he loved me.
Did you ever tell anybody else?
Now, even if he was asking, I mean, even if he was acting, would Eric be acting too? That's Eric over there crying. He's listening to the testimony and obviously showing some raw emotion here. So I just personally, man, listen, Good Morning Gorgeous, when I tell you that you actually need to watch the series, when they speak about what that dad was into, when I tell you creepy, let's see. Raquel said yes. I was questioning whether that's what you meant. Yes. Okay, so so you know what, sometimes I don't, okay, I can't assume that everybody know what I'm talking about. So when I was speaking about mental disorders, I referenced something called the DSM. So the DSM is the DSM is acronym for the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders. And within that manual, there are codes for the different diagnoses. And I kind of referenced that to a law book, because you know how laws are coded. Maybe that wasn't a good example. I don't know. But yeah. Let's see. I don't know, y'all. I personally think it's real. Let me pull up this article real quick because I want to show y'all what's going on with Eric and Lyle Menendez now. Is it bad that I feel like I want them to be released? I know they unalived their parents, but I just feel like if there's even a smidget of a possibility that they are telling the truth about what they experienced in the home, I just don't feel that they deserve life in prison. You know, I don't know. Am I wrong? Because sometimes I'll be like, damn, why do I feel sorry for them? But what if they did? People are saying that they're lying, but what if they actually did experience this stuff, y'all? That's sad. They've lost over half of their lives. Let me see. Let me pull this up real quick. I just want to show y'all this article. So it does say that the Menendez brothers case is under review. Now, I got this article from the New York Times, and this was published on today. It says I ain't gonna read all of that because we already know what the case is about. Okay, we know what they were convicted of. This is them now. Yeah, Lyle look weird as hell. Let's read this part. So, in the past several years, new evidence has come to light that may prove favorable for the Menendez brothers in the review of their case. Last year, Roy Rosello, a former member of the boy band Menudo, publicly revealed that Jose Menendez, that is their dad, Jose, who was a very powerful and rich, I believe, music executive or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. Publicly revealed that Jose Menendez had SA'd him at the Menendez family home in New Jersey when he was 14. The journalist Robert Rand, who had written extensively about the brothers in his book, The Menendez Unalivings, also uncovered a letter that Eric wrote when he was 17 to his cousin, detailing his father's sexual abuse. At a news briefing on October 3rd, Mr. Gascon said that none of this new information has been confirmed by his office, but that prosecutors had a moral and ethical obligation to review what is being presented. So I don't know if you got somebody new that's coming forward that is also saying that they have been assaulted by their father, Jose Menendez. I really think that it should be looked into. I think that it should be looked into. I don't think that they do. If though all of those things happen to them, I don't believe that they deserve life in prison. What's going on, Harmony? Okay, Harmony said, I feel the same way. I feel like they should be released. Yeah, I really do. You know, were from that series, were there some lies told? I think so. There may have been some lies told on the stand or whatever because they were scared. And then not only that, but their counsel, their attorney, asked them to do certain things that she shouldn't have asked them to do. Like, for instance, I wouldn't say that, because a lot of defense attorneys do this. They want you to dress a certain way or whatever the case is. But she asked them to do dumb shit. Like, she had Eric wear glasses that weren't even prescribed because she felt like that would make him look more innocent. Like stupid stuff, And I feel like if these things happen to them, I don't feel like they should have had to do that. You know what I mean? Some of the things that they detail within the series and, obviously within real life and in the court records, where they state that, certain things were done to their, I can't get too graphic, y'all, but like pins were used on their privates to, and I don't know. That just sounds like some stuff that you can't make up. So like I said, that's my opinion. I believe them. So we'll see where it goes. Cancer 66 said, Upper, in my opinion, even if it's true what happened to them, the brothers need to stay in prison because there are a lot of people who have been essayed and they don't unalive their abuser. That's true too. It's a lot of people with that opinion as well. Maybe it's just because, oh Lord, I had to stretch. Maybe I just feel that way because I literally have zero sympathy or empathy or care for anybody that does anything in that manner to a child. You lose your life, you lose your life. You shouldn't have been touching on kids. That's just how I feel. Is there a better way that they could have handled it? Probably. But that wasn't their only defense. Their defense was also that they believed that their parents were going to unalive them. One of the things that the father would tell Eric was that if you ever tell anybody that, I'm doing this to you, he would threaten him like, I'm gonna unalive you. So, Eric eventually told Lyle. Now, Lyle knew that, obviously, that it was being done to him, but he didn't know that it was being done to Eric until Eric told him. Lyle stood up to his father at a certain age and said, this is going to stop. Don't touch me anymore. You're hurting me. And his father actually stopped doing that to him. But when he stopped doing it to him, Lyle didn't realize that he started doing it to Eric. He didn't know that his father had started doing that to him up until recently, up until right before, I want to say a few months before the unalivings. And then Lyle confronted his father about it. And after that, the mom eventually admitted that she knew that it was happening, and she blamed Eric for the problems that she had in the marriage with her husband. Because the father then knew about it, Eric and Lyle said that they were in fear for their lives. They thought that the parents were conspiring to unalive them. So they said that they were living in fear, and they felt like they had to take them out before the parents took them out. It was a point, well, I ain't gonna tell the story, y'all, because y'all gotta watch it. Harmony said, I can watch that series over and over. He said he started putting, yes, that's another detail. He said he started putting, now, this is what I mean when I say it's certain details that you just can't make up. Eric said that he started putting cinnamon in his father's food because it would make his what taste better when he released in him. Y'all know where I'm going with it, because he heard that cinnamon makes bodily fluids taste better. You can't tell me that that's something that's, nobody can make that up. I mean, that unless it happened. It was even witnesses that said, they can remember Lyle drinking a lot of lemon juice or asking to put lemon juice on stuff because Lyle is saying that he was doing that because he thought that it would desensitize his taste buds. Remember that part, Harmony? He thought that it would desensitize his taste buds. So he would drink lemon juice or put lemon juice in things. Okay? Just those small details tell me that the abuse was extensive. There is no small abuse, okay? But just those details let me know that's not even something that somebody would think to lie about. I mean, that's just not a detail that somebody would say, "Ooh, let's say that we put cinnamon." No. I believe 100%. And now that this person has come forward and said that the father, Jose Menendez, also assaulted him when he was a child, I believe it even more. But y'all, I'm getting ready to go ahead and call it a night. Thank you for joining me. Make sure that you like the live on your way out. Also, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you can be notified of any time that I live stream in the future or any time that I post content. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hopefully, I get to talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good night. And I will talk to y'all later. Peace.